My dear friend, have you ever stopped, truly stopped, to feel the weight of a love so deep, so boundless, that it carved wounds into itself just for you? A love so vast, so relentless, that it stretched across a splintered cross, spilling crimson rivers to wash away stains you could never scrub clean on your own. This is the love of Jesus, raw, fierce, unyielding, etched forever into his hands, his feet, his side, wounds that pulse with a rhythm older than time, wounds that whisper your name through the silence of centuries. Close your eyes for a moment and picture him there, hanging between the heavens and the earth, his body torn, his breath shallow and ragged, not because he was forced, not because he had no choice, but because he chose. He chose you. In that moment of unimaginable agony, when the nails ripped through his flesh, when the thorns pressed deep into his brow, when the weight of a spear split his side open, he saw you. He saw every tear you've cried in secret, every burden you've carried alone, every sin you've buried beneath layers of shame, every quiet moment when you've wondered if anyone could ever love you as you are. And with every labored breath, he said, "This is for you." Can you feel it? The tremor of that sacrifice? It wasn't just a fleeting event etched into the pages of history. It was a heartbeat that shattered the chains of eternity. A single act that rewrote the story of every soul it touched. Those wounds weren't random scars, mere accidents of cruelty. They were the price of your redemption, paid in full by a love that refused to let you slip away. When the world turned its back, when the crowds jeered and the sky grew black over Calvary, Jesus stayed. His arms stretched wide, not in defeat, not in surrender, but in an embrace that would hold you through every storm, every night, every tear-stained dawn. He didn't flinch from the agony. He leaned into it, pressed forward through it, because to him, you were worth every drop of blood that stained the wood, every gasp of air he fought to draw, every shudder of pain that racked his frame, the whip that tore his back into ribbons, the thorns that crowned him with mockery, the spear that pierced his side. They weren't just tools of suffering. They were instruments of a love so fierce, it carved a path through death itself, a path back to you, back to me, back to every broken heart that has ever longed for a place to belong. Oh, how those wounds speak to us. They tell a story of a love that doesn't flee when the cost rises high, a love that doesn't falter when the shadows grow long and the air grows cold. They sing, softly, achingly, of a Savior who looked at your mess, your chaos, your tangled web of doubts and failures and hidden scars, and said, "I'll take it all." He didn't wait for you to clean yourself up, didn't demand you prove your worth or earn your place. He stepped into the fire of judgment, into the crushing weight of sin that should have been yours to bear, so you could stand free, so you could lift your head without shame, breathe without guilt, live without fear. Those hands, pierced and bleeding, reached through the ages to pull you from the pit of despair. That heart, torn open by a soldier's blade, poured out grace like a flood, a tide of mercy to heal what you could never mend on your own. Every wound was a cry of love, a declaration that you are his, irrevocably, eternally his, that no distance could stretch too far, no guilt could sink too deep, no darkness could grow too thick to keep him from finding you, from claiming you, from loving you with every fiber of his being. Have you ever felt unworthy, friend? Have you ever stood in the quiet of your own soul, staring at the pieces of your life, the mistakes too many to count, the regrets too heavy to lift, the stains you've tried to hide, and wondered if you could ever be enough? Look to the cross then. Look to those wounds, glistening red against the rough-hewn wood, and see your answer. Those scars are your proof, proof that his love sees no flaw too deep to forgive, no past too broken to restore, no soul too lost to reclaim. He didn't die for the perfect. the polished, the ones who have it all together. He died for the weary, the wayward, the ones who feel they've strayed too far to be found. The blood that flowed from his side wasn't shed in vain. It was shed to claim you, to wash you clean, to whisper softly into the chambers of your heart, "You are enough, because I am enough for you." In the silence of that sacrifice, when the earth quaked and the heavens mourned, your redemption was sealed, not by your strength, not by your striving, but by his surrender, by his grace that flowed like a river from the cross to your soul. And here's the miracle that pierces the heart like a dagger of light. Those wounds didn't end him, they glorified him, and through them, he offers you life abundant, life eternal. The cross wasn't his defeat, it was his triumph, a victory over every chain that binds you, every sorrow that haunts your nights, every fear that shadows your days. He rose from that cold, dark tomb, scars still marking his hands, his feet, his side, not as a reminder of pain endured, but as a testament of love unleashed, a love that conquered death itself, so you could live, so you could breathe, so you could know with every fiber of your being that you are never alone. When you feel the sting of your own wounds, rejection that cuts like a blade, loss that hollows you out, despair that presses down like a stone, run your fingers over his scars in your mind, trace their jagged edges in your heart. They're there to remind you. He's been there, he's felt it all, and he's turned it into something beautiful, something redemptive, something holy just for you. Let me take you deeper, friend. Let me lead you to the foot of that cross, where the air hangs heavy with the scent of blood and dust, where the sound of his labored breathing still echoes if you listen closely. Imagine the moment when he lifted his head, eyes clouded with pain yet burning with love, and spoke words that shattered the power of sin. It is finished. Finished. Not his life, but the debt you could never pay, the separation you could never bridge, the brokenness you could never fix. In that cry, he handed you freedom, wrapped in the torn flesh of his sacrifice. Every lash he took was a lash you'd never feel. Every drop of blood was a drop you'd never owe. He didn't just save you from something, he saved you for something, for a life intertwined with his, for a love that holds you when the world lets go, for a glory that awaits you beyond this fragile, fleeting earth. What does it mean to be loved like this? It means you're never too far gone, never too shattered, never too small for his gaze. It means that when you fall, his wounded hands are there to catch you. When you weep, his scarred heart weeps with you. When you doubt, his voice, soft as a whisper, strong as a storm, calls you back. Those wounds are your anchor in the chaos, your lighthouse in the fog, your song in the silence. They tell you that you're not defined by your failures, not bound by your past, not abandoned to your pain. You're defined by his love, bound by his grace, carried by his sacrifice. And oh, how he longs for you to feel it, to let it seep into the cracks of your soul, to let it warm the cold places, to let it lift the weight you've carried too long. So rest here, my friend. Rest in the shadow of that cross, where love bled for you, where wounds became your redemption. Let this truth sink deep, like rain into parched ground. Jesus' sacrifice wasn't just an act, it was a vow, a promise etched in blood that you are his forever. He didn't merely die, he poured himself out, emptied himself completely, so you could be filled, so you could be whole. When the nights grow long and the burdens grow heavy, listen for the echo of those wounds. They're still speaking, still singing, still calling you home. You are redeemed, not by anything you've done, not by any merit you could muster, but by everything he gave, by every wound he bore, by every breath he surrendered for you. This is the love of Jesus, a love that wears its scars proudly, a love that turned a cross into a crown, a love that took your place so you could take his. Let it wrap around you now, like a warm embrace on the coldest, loneliest night. Let it be the song that lifts your head when it bows low, the truth that steadies your heart when it trembles, the light that guides your steps when the path grows dim. You are his, bought with the price of his wounds, held by the strength of his love, destined for a glory that shines brighter because of the shadows you've walked through. If this story of his sacrifice, this anthem of his wounds, stirs something deep within you, if it lights a flame of hope or soothes an ache in your soul, please hit like and subscribe. Let's share this boundless, wound-bearing love of Jesus with every heart out there, every soul longing to know they too are redeemed.